Welcome to the patch note update for Path of Exile. There are a lot of good changes, so we're going to go over that. I will condense everything to save you time and the anguish. I will link this in the description or comments or wherever, so you could go here if you really want to deep dive in. Please like and sub. I'm on YouTube, but I stream on Rumble exclusively because it's just a free, I can say whatever I want. We can talk about whatever we want, and we don't have to worry about getting canceled or anything else. So please check me out. I stream at 5 p.m. almost every day. I'll see you there. Let's begin. Starting off, the biggest thing is we have a huge gold cost reduction to respecking. Now, in my opinion, what we should be getting, hopefully, is a little zone where you can completely respec everything out that you want and test it out. That would be the best quality of life change. But this is a good start. I enjoy this. I don't know if we're going to get that, but I think this is very good. The Trials of Sekemes, or you know, bro, it's early. I don't even care. You know, it's the Trials. That's the first one, okay? The biggest takeaway here is obviously the honor damage has been decreased. Honor system, I really don't like it. I understand it. It just sucks because I have to worry about honor and my HP. It is it's difficult. This is a good change for us. Basically, it's gonna just make it more doable. There's some bug fixes in here for how like ticking damage worked and everything else, but this whole section, the only thing that you need to worry about is the honor system. That's a win for us, and hopefully it makes it easier for everyone to get their ascension. Next up is the end game was crushing, okay? So across the board, what they did is they just made it easier. Okay, they toned down the damage, the crit damage, everything. That's good for everyone who's going here. They also changed something very interesting in here, which is the chaos damage now also scales less aggressively over the end game. So when you guys get to end game, it should be enjoyable, not punishing. Like I said, I'm just giving this the nutshell. This is a good change, and remember, this is free to play right now. There's still other acts we're going to be doing much later on. You're going to be ahead of the power curve when at full release. I don't see people really stopping to play this. I'm still waiting for axes and spears and all this other cool stuff to come out, but this is a good change. It's just making endgame easier. All right, this next part, we're going to kind of condense it. This item balance character change thing, the thing that I will really stand out to most of you is going to be this right here. Electrocute is now 25% harder to build up, but the damage penalty has been removed from the support gem. A lot of people, the Electrocute is like a really good thing. I'm running like the witch build, and you know, you have the one skeleton that does shocked ground or whatever, gives more damage. And adding a new lightning damage and electrocute cluster to the passive tree in between ranger and monk section. It is now more difficult to chain freeze enemies by reducing the amount of freeze buildup applied after freeze has been applied. So what that's saying is they're frozen. You're not going to be able to keep the ticker going to refreeze or keep frozen. Right here, this section, I think this is the most biggest thing for people. Mostly it's going towards the monk and the freeze build, but I'm pretty sure that everyone's leaning towards the monk because the monk is probably the strongest class, maybe the easiest. I haven't played the monk. From the videos I've seen, it's quite powerful. All right, so this last piece, there's some really important things here. Remember, Path of Exile is a difficult game, and they want you to not have one road where everybody goes. Like Diablo and all these other games pretty much have like, this is the build, and that's all you can do. Path of Exile, you can see there's a lot of build videos because this is like the main thing, and then you kind of branch out from there. And they're really trying to be like, okay, we want to step away from this. So right here, since launch, we've unfortunately had to nerf a few skills that were far too overpowered. How do we define overpowered? Basically, it's a situation in which a certain skill is so overpowered, players feel no other method of playing the game is viable. That is the hardest part to balance for Path of Exile, and I agree with that. I'm in between right now with the warrior. Like, I want to do a shield, I want to do two-handed, and I'm in between. That's on me. The fact that both of those things are a viable option is a good thing. Generally speaking, we are trying to do this in a way that doesn't make a build bad, but we can't, probably they can make mistakes. Ideally, any truly meta shifting change will only happen at the same time as the content patches with new, right? As they put in patches, meta will change. But that's the hardest thing, is we don't want the meta. We want everything to be as viable as possible. This is pretty much for me, right? Improvement to rolling slam and all shield skill in the mace section. This is huge because right now the mace is awesome. I love this shield, and the rolling slam is my go-to. There's a leap, but it burns all my mana, so I really don't want to go into the leap anymore. Even though it does a huge chunk of armor, I kind of dislike the rolling slam because I feel more mobile. And that's just my view on it, right? I'm like Act 2 middle right now with my second playthrough. Right here. Improvement to various bow skills, especially the skills used to generate frenzy charges. That's good. I haven't really messed with the bow. I had an archer and I played her for like the intro and I was bored. So I went straight to the warrior, and I felt like I really wanted to play warrior anyways, but the bow feels kind of boring because the mercenary is doing the same thing the bow is doing. So maybe when they get new weapons out, it'll be different. Improvement to bone spells and chaos damage over time. This is very big, simply because the bone spells, if you guys are running the witch, you need, I think it's called Bone Storm, you have to take Bone Storm. It's essential, at least for in the beginning, because the Bone Storm applies a debuff to give more damage. You want that. But the biggest one is the chaos damage. And the reason I feel chaos damage is like they need to do something with it, because it's really cool. It's fun. I love seeing just the purple like tide just roll over the map and destroy everything. But no one is really going towards the blood ascension. Not many people. Everyone's playing necromancer. That's cool. But everyone's going to that because the chaos doesn't feel good. I don't know how to describe it when you're in it. I mean, it'll be different now, but when you were in it, it just didn't feel strong enough. Like, it took a long time. My witch run was very difficult. I'm having a easier time with the warrior, which is very surprising because warrior is supposed to be the hardest class. But this is a very good change, and I would love to see an ability to change your ascension and just respect that. I don't know if we have that, if we're going to get that, but it's needed, because to roll a whole new character just for ascension, man, I mean, it would cost a lot. Anyways, let's go on. Improvement to crossbow skills, especially the higher tier. That's very good. And improvement to some of the underachieving quarterstaff builds. So, I mean, this is a buff to pretty much everybody. Everything that's going on, everyone has a slight tweak. Alongside all of these skill gems improvements, we've also done a pass over the support gems. Okay. We've added 2 new supports and removed or lessened the penalties of other. Okay. Fire, lightning, cold exposure support. There are some gems right now that I think don't work because I have a poison gem and I see the animation go off, but I don't see the effect. And I don't know if that's a bug or if I'm just using it wrong. I'm not too sure. All right. Adding the tremor support gem. Okay, that's good for me. Which can be used to give up to multiplier more aftershock to skills. Okay, with damage penalty. Okay. Boop. Adding the bidding. Am I saying that right? Adding the bidding support gem, which can be used to give more damage to the command skill. Oh, okay, of minions. So this is a buff to minions. Fire exposure, lightning, cold. Okay, blah blah blah. They now have a mana cost multiple. Ooh, wow. Okay, that's big. So for your casters out there, for witches, and when you're doing the exposure for that, the multiplier for the mana is going to be more. So you need to manage your mana better. I feel that the mana right now is not in a bad spot. I actually think I have too much mana. Not for the warrior, but for the witch, I really don't feel mana starved. I sit back and I waited for a minute, but I thought mana was in a pretty good spot. Here are the nerfs. Okay, skeletal arsonist costs now match the other two skeletal mages. This should result in a slight decrease in the number, which really sucks, right? So you get less skellies. All right, because more that's the meta, right? More of the bomb throwing skellies just means more damage, and they're really good. A nerf to the damage over time component on very high levels of tornado and vine arrow. I don't know what those are because I haven't played that. You are more than welcome to tell me. These were never intended to be dealing damage themselves, but more so act of a way other skills to... Okay, so they don't really want this doing damage. They kind of want you to, like... I don't know. I mean, tornado. So I'm pretty sure like they want you to throw out tornado. Here it is. And then throw everything else inside the tornado to combo it instead of tornado doing all the damage itself. Magnetic salvo can now only use your struck lightning arrow as opposed to those created by your party member. Okay. Like I said, if you know what that's about, I'm going to give my kind of input here. From what I have played and what I've read here, I think these are all good changes. When we get the next big patch, tons of stuff will probably change. I do want to call out something, and this is just for the warriors. I do not feel the shield build is good. There is I think it's called like magma shield. You hold up your shield. There's a small window, and if the enemy hits your shield, like magma goes on them. It's really cool. I like it. It's pointless. I don't know what the point of it is. It's a cool thing. If you're running a shield, like a shield fire build, that sounds right. It sounds really awesome. Like enemy comes up, hold your shield, blue, lava hits them. But it's not doing enough. I don't know if the dot damage needs to be increased, if there needs to be like burning ground or, something like that. And then you could put sockets in there to slowly change how that works. To change, maybe you could do like the blood effect or the shock round, something like that. But the shield build right now, it doesn't feel that great. I don't see a reason to tank up when I could just dish out damage. So those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think. Like I said, this is the condensed version. I'm just trying to save you some time. This video is probably too long, but this is as far as I could get it. Anyways, like, sub, Rumble, 5 p.m. I'll see you later. Have a good day. I'll see you in like the game. Bye, guys.